All right, so today we're going to be printing on our plate. And I'm going to be using my Shapes and Figures paper from before as kind of like a mess mat. So I'm just going to use the back. I know yours might have something on it. And we're going to put this on one side, so like the left or the right side. It really doesn't matter. I'm also going to give you a piece of tape so it doesn't move. Our goal is to keep our fingers a little cleaner today than they have been. So you're going to roll the tape and put it on the back and just tape it to the paper. Next, we're going to color our plate using colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. So colors that are next to each other, which are called analogous. And so like I'm going to do purple, red, and orange. And those will go in that order, so that way they don't mix funny. And I'm just going to use the side of my marker and I'm going to color large bands of color across. So I'm going to do purple, pretty large. I'm going to overlap the red. And then orange. So think like whatever part of the rainbow you want to do it in rainbow order, one way or the other. The next thing you're going to do is take your paper that I give you today, which is a half sheet like this, and we're going to wet it. So you're going to take your paintbrush and your water, and you're just going to put a thin layer of water. It will start to curl a little bit, and that's okay. You don't want so much water that the paper is dripping, but you want to see that it is wet. You kind of have to do this kind of quickly. No puddles, just kind of an overall wet. I'm going to dry just a little bit. If it's too wet, it's going to bleed too much. You can see it's shiny, but not dripping. And put the wet side face down on top of your plate. Once it's down, hold it down with one hand and rub with the other hand. I like to kind of rub away from my holding hand so I don't accidentally push the paper the wrong way. Switch hands, hold it, rub. I'm trying to hit every single part of the plate, probably more than once. So I'm going to go back and do it again. Rub, rub, rub. Rub, rub, rub. And the paper's not moving, so I'm trying really hard not to move the paper around. Now, while holding it, you can peek at it to make sure your print came on. It looks pretty good. If you're peeking, you see a spot that doesn't have quite enough color, try to rub that spot. All right, and then when you're done, peel it off, and you should get a print. So all of our pencil lines now become white lines. And it does not matter how I drew on it because it creates the lines. Now for your next one, if you want to draw inside your people and do a very specific pattern, you can do that. So let's say I want to draw inside my lines. Each time you want to reprint, you have to add more ink or marker to your paper. I could reprint this, but it would probably turn out really light colored. And you don't have to do 2 colors. I just like to because I think it looks kind of cool when it fades. Now, I didn't clean my plate, so these colors might not come out that great, but today we're just practicing, trying to see what happens. I could even, all right. So once again, it does not matter how long that takes or how long that dries because you're wetting your paper. So you can really take your time on the coloring, but one dip ought to do it. Spread it out on the paper kind of quickly, maybe 2 dips. All right. Let it dry a tiny bit. Looks a little too wet. Put it shiny side down. Hold it with one hand, rub it with the other, switch hands, do at least twice, making sure that your paper doesn't move and that you are touching and putting pressure on all of your plate. Peeking. Okay, let's see how that turned out. Cool. All right, and there you go. So practice a few of these today and see how that goes.